Okay, so we have a Electrolux refrigerator here, and the problem is the ice maker not making ice. This is a very tough one to diagnose. Not the worst, but it's definitely complicated. Ice maker. This mold never turns over to drop the cubes. It has multiple heaters, and the way it works is it has these evaporator fingers there. See, they're frozen. I'm gonna get some light here. So there's an evaporator there. Those fingers actually they dip in the water in the ice tray, and the cubes get frozen around it. And the way it flips, basically the way it releases them is there's a mold underneath the the heater underneath the mold, and it heats up the mold, and then moves the tray out of the position, and then it heats the evaporator to drop the cubes. So basically the cubes, after they get released from the mold, they're just kind of hanging on those fingers. Then the motor engages. This is the motor, moves it out of the way, and the cubes drop in the tray. Also, there's another fan behind there, hidden way back there, kind of to blow the cold air around the compartment to keep the cubes frozen. But the cubes basically get frozen by this evaporator fingers. I call them fingers. They're just kind of dipped in the water. Then there's three switches here. There's 1, 2, and a third one back there somewhere. So this one is called the fill switch. When the mold goes up, hits that switch, it knows that it's in the fill position, and then the water fills in. There's a fill tube in the back right above it, and it goes back up. This is the ice level switch. Checks the ice level. If there's enough ice, it doesn't go anywhere. If it's not enough, it goes up. This hits another third switch there, and it's the switch that knows that it's in place to freeze the ice. There's also a valve there that disconnects the evaporator from the Freon. See the tubes there, back there. Basically, evaporator gets disconnected, and when the heating process is happening, so the Freon doesn't run through it. And yeah, that's about it. So one heater, two heaters, third heater is on there's evaporator coils back there behind the auger, another heater back there, and some sensors. So what I've found on this one, this motor was stripped. I replaced the motor. It would just go up by here, and then tick 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 tick, it keeps trying, and it would not move back and forward. Replaced the motor, and now it goes all the way up here, and hits the switch, and then it stops. But it should be going back and forward on this test until you stop it. So I'm getting a new control board today. These are the only two ice makers that I've seen. Another one is a Frigidaire fridge, which is a lower brand for Electrolux. This is the model number. On the other ice maker, I had the problem ice error in the front. So that was a ice maker control board, which that's what it is. Separated control board just for the ice maker. I replaced that ice maker control board. I still didn't get any ice production. It ended up being this heater was burnt out. I took the whole thing off, continuity, nothing. So when I'm running the test, I can feel this heater warm up. I can feel the fingers warm up on this fridge, but on the other one, ended up being control board and a heater, and it could be related, but I have to test it separately. Alright, so on this one we're gonna put the ice maker board and see, and then we'll try to run the test. I'll show you how the mold moves back and forward, and in the process testing all the switches. So alright. Okay, so this is the old control board. Doesn't see anything burnt on it. So it wasn't that expensive. It's 40 bucks on Amazon, which is really cheap. For the other fridge, it was 200 bucks. So just a little different part number, different programming, more rare. Right away, a lot more money. So easy to replace, couple screws, couple connectors. The reason I'm making this video is I could not find a single video on this type of ice maker, how it works, what it's supposed to do. I've done a lot of ice maker repairs in the past, and if there's a problem with the ice maker, just replace the ice maker. Maybe the very old school ice makers, they used to sell separate parts. Now they just sell the whole ice maker. They're pretty cheap to replace the whole thing. Not much to diagnose separately on it. This one's a whole nother beast. So many tests, so many different components, so complicated the way it works. No wonder I haven't seen this thing in 10 years, and now I got 2 in the same week. So I've been going probably 2-3 trips now at each location and cross-referencing how they work. I was like, okay, the fan works on this one, I can hear the fan, I cannot hear on this one. But the fan, it's like, is it even there? I look up on parts diagram, yes, it's there. I eventually able to get to the fan. It was just a connector that was bad. The fan itself was fine. But then I was like, okay, let me just run the rest of the tests. Find out that the heater is not working. And that's all after I put the control board in. And this one, I'm like, great. All I have to do is replace the motor after. But usually one problem leads to another. So the motor broke because some other issue, most likely. So in this case, control board leading to all these breaks. Anyway, I hope that helps a little bit with your understanding how it works, what could be possibly wrong. Definitely pull up the manual, run every single test. Knowing how these tests work and what to expect from it, I think it's the main one. It's sometimes if you've never seen it before, you're not even sure what this test's supposed to do exactly. It doesn't have a full information in the manual. So I'll try to go over a few things here. I'm about to get this thing plugged back in and we'll go over it. So after installing a new control board, it's recommended to turn off the ice maker and turn it back on. So it says ice off. That will power cycle the board and not getting any error codes, so that's good. So I'm gonna get in diagnostics and try to get this thing to move around. Okay, so we are in a test 63C, and to get in here you have to push freezer up and the fresh food up, both pluses at the same time, to get in ice maker testing mode. And then you go up and down to select the test. 63C tests the ice maker motor, and if we turn the test on, see, it just keeps trying. So give it a little help. Goes up, hits the switch, comes back around, hits the switch, comes back around, and it keeps getting stuck at the same spot. So we already replaced the ice maker motor, which has gears in it, but apparently that's not what's stripped. There's another assembly, sensing arm assembly, also has gears in it, and that's the one that is stripped. So we'll need to get this sensing arm assembly. Before I had the motor going up to this position and stopping, and the contacts were actually this middle pin was moved to this bottom one, and that totally messed up the whole system. Not sure how that happened. I think there was another tech before me, or I might have done it myself when testing, put it on the wrong one, but I don't remember testing these switches, so I'm pretty sure it was flipped around at some point. It could be that's why this motor is broke too. Got stripped, it's hard to tell. So anyway, so I'm gonna stop the test here. And to get out of the test, this guy here, fridge resets, and now to get in the test, gotta hit the options. Let's see if we can, there you go, and we're in. So here they are. So there's a lot of tests: the heater test, motor test, switch test. I only need to download the manual. This is a lot to go through, but basically I already went through how it works, and what possibly could be bad with it. So this one is definitely the ice level sensor assembly. It has a sensing arm on it, a switch on it. The motor is separate apart. So we'll need to get this guy, and hopefully that will fix it. So thanks for watching. I'll try to fill in any other errors or problems I encounter with these ice makers, and hopefully that helps. I did learn a lot, and that's why I thought I'll share it, because I haven't seen any information on these ice makers. Everybody just says run away from it. So I thought I'll tackle it. So I hope that helps. God bless, guys. See you next time. Peace.